Amazon, Tesla, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple. These are the mega seven or whatever that people often talk about.
Welcome back, traders. This is Sandra with Trading Made Simple.
Welcome to Autopilot, the passive trading system weekly training. So I'm really glad that you're here. Hopefully you guys have been working with Autopilot. You may have some questions. But let's go over the market kind of and see what's going on here. So as we take a look at, let me see if I can get over here. Let's take a look at SPY. By the way, guys, PFV's on my radar. Some of the health stocks are on my radar. Looking at PFV, it's actually been in a downtrend for quite a long time. If we can maybe go back here, you can see that, we keep having a lower high, right? So this is high, this high is lower, this high is lower, this high is lower, and it just continues to go down. And then all of a sudden you can see this consolidation. So now we've been consolidating sideways. Earnings are over with, and we have a little pop up here. And this could be the sign, whenever you're doing consolidation and you're in a zone and price is just going sideways for a really long time. And in this case, look at how many weeks. I'm on a weekly chart. We've been just going sideways. And so now you could see that we actually hit 2 weekly targets. Actually one, we broke above the point of control on a weekly time frame, and we hit 2 targets. Let's see what this looks like on a day chart. On a day chart, we broke above that point of control, and what did we do? We're at the second target right now. So this is actually looking really good. If you come and take a look, let me move this cursor here, but if you take a look at the momentum indicator that we've given you, you can kind of see that we're above the zero line. And look what happened as soon as we broke above that zero line, boom. Oftentimes you kind of have to get into a position before the boom. Definitely when you start seeing consolidation for a long period of time, it's a good idea to, get some trades on. And what could be easiest, right? Here you can see that on Monday, we actually started up here and ended down here. And this is the high and the low. And then the next following day, boom, right through the 20. And you know how I love that. And then we're hitting some targets. So this is a big engulfing candle. And what do big engulfing candles show you? It shows you market participants. Retail traders? No, not us. Actually, market participants is institutional flow. So as we take a look at this and we're like really trying to identify PFE, when you see that it was on a downtrend for a really long time, and then it was in consolidation for a really long time, that means that there's a good probability that the trend has finally changed. It certainly has changed on a daily. Remember how I told you that you can look at any time frame, and once you look at it, if you can see price is above that 20, we're bullish. If we break below it, we're bearish. And you can see that we've just been toying with it, and then all of a sudden we broke above it. And this confirmation candle, which is today, is really showing us a nice move. And look at how that indicator that I've given you, how it expanded, right? Usually you see it really small on your screen, but it expanded because the software already identifies that this is a major move. Where could we be going? Well, all you got to do is take a look at previous point of controls. So looks like we passed that today. So if we stay above 25.57, it's looking good, right? What's the next resistance? That other point of control, 26.25. And then where's our last one? Right here at the pivot high, right up here, right? So we're really looking for price to hit these 3 levels because we're already starting a trend change. We've been in a downtrend for a really long time right here. Then we went into consolidation and we just popped through. So we actually got a swing trade yesterday to get into this early when it was in the 24s. And so we're here now. So nice area to take some profits and then looking for next week to continue this little run. Could we have some sideways consolidation again? Yes. Whenever you hit a resistance point like we did right here, whenever you hit that resistance point, there's always going to be like people are taking profits. There's people that are taking profits, right? Because they hit a resistance zone. And then there's people that are like, oh, wait a minute, we just broke out of a resistance zone. I'm putting money back in. Now we're talking about institutions. Everything that we see on the charts, always institutions, okay? This is what we call just price action, but I want to make sure that it's clear that we are trend traders following a trend. Who creates that trend? The institutional buyers. Hey traders, if you're finding this helpful, go ahead and tap that like and subscribe. We drop fresh trading setups and automation tips every day. And trust me, what's coming up next could level up your game. The links to learn more about us and our system is in the description below. So that's what we got for SPY. Let's take a look at MarketWatch. I love this tool. If you guys don't use it, you should. It can really give you a visual representation of what the stocks are doing right at the open versus midday and then at the end of the day. And so you can see right here that the big ones, right? The big ones are actually red. Amazon, Tesla, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple. These are the mega seven or whatever that people often talk about. Why is it important? Because it moves the market. They move the market, you know, that too big to fail. Well, they actually move the market. What do I mean by that? Well, when we see green and green and green and green and green, but you have big companies, right? These corporations have a lot of money in them because they're so large. So now if we just look at SPY as an example and we just say, well, what's up with SPY? You can see that SPY, even though all those other areas are green, SPY is down 56 cents, right? Plus I want to show you this trend line. This is really interesting. So as SPY has been going up, right? We got a high, higher high, not really, another higher high. You see how this just goes higher high? And of course the lows then follow. It's a higher low, low, higher low, higher low. That's what creates that trend, okay? So as the trend is going up and we're above the 20, you could see that right here we had some, a big, I'm sure this was a tweet somewhere, but right after that you got a little bit of consolidation and then all of a sudden we broke out and then we broke some major support, right? This little trend line right here has been going back as far as all the way down here, April 7th. That's pivot low. This was pivot high until it was broken. Here's pivot low. And so now that's what we're looking at. So is it important for price action to stay above this line right here? It really is. So we're kind of at this point. You could see that price action has been following that line, like literally just surfing the line. It's going up, but in a slow, choppy manner. And so what we need we need price action to actually break and hold this next level right here, which would put it where I love when all the evidence just lines up. And so as we look at price action, we're looking at the candles. We have an indicator that we gave you with Autopilot. And this is a trend pivot indicator I could share with you, but this right here is just lining up perfectly that if we can hold that level, which is, if I try to put it on exactly 684.09, let's just make it 685. Is that right? 684? Yeah. So if we can hold 645, we can then see us going higher maybe next week. Could we have another sideways action? Absolutely. Whenever we have something like this low right here, and then we have a pop up, see this big old gap? Could we come down, by the way, and fill that gap? And the answer is yes, right? That's why this is concerning right here, is because whenever you have a gap, we can come and fill the gap. It's just what the institutions like to do, price action. What do I mean by that? Institutions like to do it. Well, they drive price low so that they can gain a position with much better pricing for it to go higher. So they actually can manipulate the market by doing that. And because they have billions and trillions of dollars, they can actually move the market based on their trend that they're creating. So it is market manipulation. So could we fill that gap? And the answer is yes. So you need to be on your toes here. We can see momentum. Momentum broke above that zero line on a day, and it's in a choppy area right here. If we break through that 100, we can see us pop up. If we start to break down towards that zero line, we could definitely see us come and retest the 20. Why? Because price always likes to test the 20 and possibly break it just to fill that gap. Then it would put institutions in another nice buying, buy low, sell high thing. And how do they do this? All with programming. It's all algorithms. It's all automatic. It's all automation. And that's what we're teaching you here in Autopilot. So you get me every week for Q&A. I'd love to jump right in and ask who's having any questions, who's having roadblocks, who's doing it, and surprisingly are learning options a lot quicker than it would normally take you, as well as automation. Typically one of the last things that people learn, we are bringing it kind of upside down and saying this is the first thing you should learn.